Imagine, it's the 11th of June 2020. You're watching the PS5, the Future of Gaming show. Games like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Gran Turismo, Ratchet & Clank and Project Avia. Great game so far. And suddenly, you see a robot sitting on the ground in a Slums looking area. And then you see the logo, Annapurna Interactive. You think to yourself, what is this game gonna be? You see something jump across the screen. A robot goes through the trash while being watched by something. And then the next frame, you see a cat getting inside a building. You're still wondering, what is this? A cyberpunk looking game with robots? But you forget that the focus was on something else the whole time. Something small, going through the screen at all times. It climbs on top of a building, sits down and meows at the screen. You see the words, Stray. That's right, a game where you play as a cat? Ah, this game can't be something good. A game where you play as a cat? Nah, I'll skip this one. Give me more Spider-Man, is what we all thought that day. Fast forward 2 years later, on June 3rd, 2022, Stray was announced to be released on July 19th, 2022, and comes for free for PlayStation Plus Extra users. After seeing more of the game, people seemed interested. And who wouldn't? A game where you play as a cat and it's free for some people? Sure, I'll try it out. July 19th, 2022, Stray was among the top 10 of the most streamed categories on Twitch, with it grossing 9.28 million views within its first week, placing it 9th place, just above Fall Guys. The cat adventures from Stray looked to be successful, so even I had to try it out. Welcome to the platinum journey of Stray, the best cat game out there. Hey everybody, Flamer here, coming at you with my platinum journey of Stray. This cat simulator might be so far one of the best games out in 2022. I enjoyed myself thoroughly with this story of the game. This game has 25 trophies to collect, which most of you will get if you keep on exploring on your first playthrough. That's right, I said first playthrough. Cause to get this platinum, you will have to at least play through this game 2 to 3 times. This platinum is set to take about 10 hours, but it's an enjoyable ride all the way through. Be mindful, this video contains spoilers for the main game and the side stuff that Stray has to offer. So if you want to play the game before watching this video, I would highly recommend playing the game first and then coming back. Alright, warnings out of the way, let's jump into the story and trophies of Stray. As you begin the game, you take control of our small furry feline friend. Because I don't want to call the main protagonist of this game Cat the whole time, we're going to give him a name. Meet Bob the Cat. Bob lives with 3 other cats in a tunnel, where they take shelter for the storm. After interacting and playing with all 3 cats, you can go to sleep and start off your adventure. When you enter the next morning, bright and early. Here, you will see your usual tutorial, but this time you have to meow, jump, and scratch a tree. Note right here, scratching the tree is needed for a trophy, where you need to scratch something in every chapter of the game. Scratching a tree in each chapter is saved, so note in which chapters you have scratched so far. Keep a note as well in which areas you did scratch, so it's easy to backtrack and find your final scratch posts. Alright. After finishing your tutorial, you get to the Pipe of Doom! And I'm sorry, cat lovers, but don't watch this scene cause Bob falls down into the abyss. Bob rolls down and hits multiple cans on his way. Bob gets up, but tries to move, but due to its injury, falls down from exhaustion. Bob gets up, licks its balls, and starts moving his way through the dead city. Here Bob gets guided by an orange light. Every time you meow, he will light up. Also trophy note, meow 100 times is a trophy, but if you are like me and you just want to abuse the button, this will be one of the first trophies you'll get. After reaching the inner part of the dead city, you'll have seen some type of creatures crawl through. But now, They are with many, and they will try to take you down. Meet the Zergs. Annoying little creatures that definitely don't look like headcrabs from Half-Life. You'll be chased by the Zergs, so we have to dodge and weave, dodge and weave. And you might get hit, but you can shake them off, fast, if it's only just a few. If there are many, you'll definitely die. Don't worry though, you'll respawn straight after the cutscene, so you can get back into the chase. Trophy note right here. A trophy for not getting hit during the chase is needed for platinum, but I recommend doing this after your initial playthrough, since this can be quite annoying. Oh no, here comes the Zerg. Look, they explode. After reaching the apartment and escaping the Zergs, you need to solve some puzzles. That shouldn't be too hard to solve. And you will meet your new companion for the rest of your game, B12. B12 gives you your backpack, which Bob doesn't seem to like. However, we have to continue, so suck it up, Bob. After leaving the apartment, we find a picture of the outside where we came from. Maybe someone can help get Bob back to the surface. This is also your first memory, a collectible you can find throughout the game. If you missed a memory, don't worry, you can go back to chapter select after clearing the game and grab what remains left. You can also see in your inventory a glitchy image in certain chapters, which will reveal the locations of this memory. We enter what seems to be a new part, where we approach a figure, but it seems scared of Bob, so it triggers an alarm and runs off. You walk through the slums, seeing robots everywhere flee from Bob. Bob gets to a stairwell and sees a weird robot in a red cape and straw hat. It looks like it is a guardian of sorts. After reaching the guardian, he starts speaking to Bob, but Bob can't understand it. B12 makes sure to translate their language, so Bob can understand what the guardian is saying. Also, here's your trophy. The people around the slums think Bob was a Zerg. And that's why they were scared, since Zerg eat everything, living and moving. We show the Guardian the picture and we get told that we should search for a robot named Momo. Now, at this point, you have free reign to roam the slums and have a choice. Go exploring or do the story. I'm going to branch out the video in two parts right now. This will happen every time we reach a new area. The story and trophies. These timestamps will show you when the story starts and when we hit a trophy point. If you want to just watch the story, click on the timestamp shown on screen. And if you want to see the trophies, you don't have to wait, we will go straight into that. So in the slums you'll be able to get a few trophies. You can get this on your chapter select playthrough, but you will also, if exploring, get these or try to get these natural. When you go right from the Guardian, you will see a basketball. If you look down the stairs, you see a bucket. You can gain a trophy here for dunking the basketball in the bucket. Make sure to give it a slight nudge from the right so it goes straight in. When returning to the Guardian on the left down the stairs, a lone robot sits down with a guitar. He asks when interacting with him if you can find him song sheets. There are 8 in total and you will be shown in these locations. I would highly recommend grabbing all of them first, or else you will not know how many sheets you had given already. Small spoiler, but eventually you will leave the slums and you can't give the sheets to him anymore, so make sure to have everything done before you leave. You will get notified when that time is, so don't worry about accidentally skipping it. The first sheet will be in Momo's apartment. You will enter this building many times during the story, so don't worry if you miss it. The second sheet will be on the right of Clementine's apartment on a table. The third sheet will be in Elliot's apartment. You can enter this building by pawing the door, and when you enter the door, it will be straight in front of you on the painting itself. For the fourth music sheet, you need to do a bit of pawing. There will be soda machines around the slums. Some work and some don't. These will drop energy drinks, which are used to trade with the barterman, who is down the stairs right of the Guardian. You'll need 1 energy drink and you can inspect the music sheet on the right and trade it with him. The fifth sheet will be inside the bar and is on the second floor on a table. Most noteworthy is that there is a cat statue above it. The sixth music sheet is in Clementine's apartment. When you enter the gap in the back of the room, you look straight away to the right, and next to the bed, the music sheet waits for you there. The seventh sheet will be in the apartment left of Clementine. This one is known as the library, and you will see it sitting atop the piano in the middle of the room. The final and eighth sheet is in a safe next to Marusk. You will need a code. Pick up the pink note and show it to B12, who will say basically that a smart person is needed to decipher it. Every robot you will show this will do the same, and the smartest robot in the slums is Elliot. Show him the note and he will say that the answer lies in the bar. If you go to the bar and paw the painting above the Dover Bear sign, it will fall down and show you the code for the safe. Put this code in the safe and the final sheet will be yours. Show Marusk all the sheets and he will play the songs written on it. After giving him the final sheet, your trophy will unlock. At this point, after you listen to the song and talk back to Marusk, he will give you a music badge. This will be required for a trophy later down the line. Grab it here while you can. While you are with Marusk, there's a paper bag on the ground you can interact with. You unlock a trophy. You can also get this when finding a paper bag in Momo's apartment. When climbing the roofs of the slums, you will see a robot laying down below Momo's apartment. If you go left from him, you will see a couch with a remote. Interact with this remote until it turns off again, and a trophy will be unlocked. You can progress a certain trophy, but we will come back later to that. After interacting with the guardian, you need to go up to the apartment with the orange neon sign. This is Momo's apartment. After talking to Momo and showing the pictures of the outside, he has lost all hope because his friends left and he will leave you his notebook. He tasks you to find his friends' notebooks, Clementine's, Balthazar, and Doc's. After finding all 3 notebooks in the apartments of the friends, you can bring these back to Momo, and he will say that the transmitter can be repaired. But it's dangerous because of the Zurks. So guess what? Who can fix this? Bob can fix this! Making our way with the buckets from Momo's window, we enter the next chapter. Entering a Zurk-infested area, Bob must make its way through the Zurks and evade all of them while being chased. Bob makes sure to dodge Zurks, but can eventually get hit. When Bob gets hit, just hit the circle button as fast as you can. Doing some light puzzling, Bob makes his way up to the towers, where an elevator comes down with a bunch of Zurks pouring through as well. Bob must evade all until the elevator is down and Bob can hitch a ride to the top. Repairing the transmitter, Bob and B12 can see light being turned on in the distance. The signal is working again. Taking a bucket down back to Momo's apartment, our little feline friend can enjoy some rest, but not for long. Hey everybody, Flamer here coming with a post-editing note. I forgot to include a certain trophy, which you probably already had, but I'm just gonna address it right now. So, you probably noticed that after a certain time of jumping, you got a trophy. So yeah, you can get this one before this time, but I thought this was the perfect time to include it. So yeah, here's another trophy. Ta-da! After entering back in the apartment, Momo left for the bar, where we meet him. After fooling around with the transmitter, Momo finally gets a signal through and speaks with his old friend Balthazar, who is alive! If Bob wants to reach the surface, he will have to traverse the sewers, a death trap filled with Zurks. If you want to survive the sewers, you will need the weapon described in Doc's notebook. And the only one who knows where Doc is his son, Seamus, who has lost all hope after his dad left and never returned. Seamus doesn't want to help, but Bob doesn't take no for an answer, and decides with the help of Momo to visit him. Bob finds a secret notepad and a code written in time. With the help of B12, puts in the code and opens up a secret lab in the back of Seamus' house. Finding a broken device, Seamus asks you to find someone who can fix it. Who can fix anything? Elliot can. but he is shaking so much from the cold that he can't fix it. So we first have to find a way to get him something that can warm him up. Much item gathering questing later, getting detergent, trade it for wire, and then trade that for a scarf, we give Elliot the scarf and he repairs the device. Bringing it back to Elliot, the device pings and shows that his dad is still alive. After opening the door leading to the area Doc seems to be, Seamus gives us his badge to show Doc that he can trust us. This badge is the outsider badge and is needed for a trophy. If you have been watching the trophy side of this video, we got our first badge at Morusk. This one is unmissable and story related, so you don't have to come back later for this badge. After much running, circumventing and even joyriding, our little feline friend finally finds Doc. Since he used his weapon, the defluxer, to wipe out the Zurks, but sadly it ran out of power. Nothing our feline friend can't help with. With new hope, Doc and Bob work together. While Bob gets the electricity running, Doc tests the defluxer when a horde of Zurks come out of nowhere. The weapon seems to work on UV light and decimates the Zurks when hit. After killing off every single one, Doc makes a tiny version of the defluxer to be compatible with B12, so that Bob can start killing the Zurks. Yay! Making our way together with Doc through the Zurk infested area, Bob and Doc, together with the defluxer, reach the door to the slums, where Seamus and Doc meet again after so long. Right now, you have a choice. Finish up anything you want, like trophies in the slums, or continue to the next area. You cannot, after this point, return to the slums until you're done with the game. After you said your goodbyes, Bob makes his way down to Momo, and you ascend together into the sewers. As Bob makes its way on Momo's boat through the sewers, they get stuck, and you have to activate the gate. Trophy note. Okay, before we continue, I would highly recommend going for the only trophy in this area, which is the pacifist one. Yes, they give you a weapon against the Zurks, but it's very easy to make your way through the sewers without killing, and this will make the second playthrough much better, since then you don't have to worry about not killing. Jump down and hit the switch. Run around until Momo is there to pick you up and jump on the boat. Sadly, this is the final time you see Momo, because the gate doesn't stay open, so he stays behind to keep it open. Making your way through the sewers, keep on dodging Zurks left, right and center, and you should be okay. You'll reach a door with 2 switches. You can choose which side you'll start from. I recommend doing the one on the right side, since a lot of the Zurks afterwards won't block your path. Also, make sure to take the path with the least Zurks. After going through the gate, Bob comes across a room with a lot of giant eyes. Taking a little inspiration of Little Nightmares, huh? B12 is so fixated on the eye that it does not notice that Bob is being swarmed. Using the defluxer, he uses everything in his body's power, but unfortunately powers down. Now Bob has to run. This part is straightforward. Just running makes sure to evade all the Zurks, and you should make it through. After entering the cutscene, where the gate closes, your trophy will pop, if you did not kill a single Zurk in the sewers. After the cutscene, you'll follow your way through the remainder of the sewers and wake up B12. Following the light at the end of the tunnel, you crawl through a little gap and make your way to a robot who welcomes you to the village of Ant Village. You hop up the tree of Ant Village and find a pot. B12 remembers something. He used to be human. After going up, you will find a robot full of wires, which is Balthazar. He will give you information to find Clementine in Midtown. Ant Village is short, but has 1 trophy and needs you to do a little quest to get another badge. If you want to, skip to the timestamps shown above. First up, you will find early on in the village 2 robots playing Mahjong. Lil Bob wants to join their game, so jumps up there, but After talking to Sir Balthazar, you head up and you will find a robot watering the plants. Talk to them and you will see their name is Mallow. Mallow wants you to go on a little search quest to find a yellow, red and purple flower. If you look around, you might have found some earlier, but you could not pick them up because of B12 thinking about that he used to be human. When you're at Sir Balthazar, walk past him to the bar behind you. Follow the pipe and you will find the yellow flower. Take the bucket down to the first floor where the robots play mahjong and you see a tree with purple flowers. Follow the path of the tree and you will see the purple flowers. Pick these up. Go back to the mahjong robots and take another bucket down. Follow the barrels and you will see 2 robots. Next to them is the red flower. Bring these back to Mallow and they will grant you the flower badge. Now, back to the story. Go all the way up and you will see a pipe leading up to a hole. Go through it and you will enter the next area. Bob enters a subway area and gets told by B12 how his human life was like, where they took the subway. After that little chat, Bob goes outside and sees a robot being chased by a drone. These are the Sentinels, also known as the police or peacekeepers of Midtown. That's right, Bob, you made it to the big city. Midtown is a large enough area where you will have to complete multiple quests and you can gain your remainder of badges for a trophy. I recommend to just play through the story so you can enjoy yourself and come back later to get the remaining trophies and badges from chapter 10, since they can get frustrating if you don't be careful. In your search for Clementine, you can show robots around the city the picture and you can get little information where she should be. Everyone says the middle house is in the back of the town. You know it's the right place if you see 3 robots with cassette tapes. Interact with them and they will ask you if you can take care of the 3 cameras. This is needed for the story. You'll see a place above with a little cat-sized gap. You can crawl through and then you'll enter a cutscene. Here you will meet Clementine. Bob shows Clementine the picture and she instructs him to find her contact. Only thing known is that he has a golden chain. After taking care of the cameras, talk to the robots below Clementine's apartment and they will give you a cassette tape. You will need this not too far from here. You will see next to the clothes store on the left a robot with a newspaper and a golden chain. Interact with him and show the picture. His name is Blazer and he will help you get into the factory to get the required items needed for Clementine. You only need a worker jacket and a worker helmet. To get the worker jacket, you will need to steal it from the clothes store next to you. The guy running it hates music and this is where the tape comes in. Go to the back, install it and he will come running at it. In that short time, grab the jacket and make your way to the bar. Here is a drunken robot. You need to wake up the hard way. He will walk to a store, then hop in the box. Go and grab the helmet and then go back to Blazer. Make your way through the factory by evading sentinels who can kill on sight. If it's blue, you're safe. Yellow is seen, orange is danger and red is kill mode. When they enter kill mode, go inside a box and wait until they are gone. After doing a bit of not too hard puzzling, you can grab the battery and head back with a bucket to Clementine. The area is sealed off by sentinels, but make your way through and you will be fine. When entering the apartment, Clementine is gone and she left behind a note. Examine some items in her apartment and it will spell out the sentence to go to the club. Now, the club isn't too hard to miss and you will see robots outside just vibing. Go to the back and climb up and the robot will bring you in. Talk to the robot behind the bar and he will tell you that Blazer has rented out the club upstairs. Grab the drink next to the bar and trade it with a robot. He will then give you a lever. Pull it down by placing it down next to the DJs. Make your way up, do some obstacle puzzling and make your way over to see Clementine stuck on a chair with Blazer seemingly being a traitor. Bob gets knocked out by the sentinels. Both Clementine and Bob are going to the slammer. Before we continue the story, this is a trophy point. If you want to see the story, click on the timestamp, and if not, let's get these mid trophies out of the way. Midtown is one of the final times you can grab certain trophies, including the final badges of the game. Starting off easy, there are 6 robots in Midtown you can interact with near their legs to nuzzle with them. At the time of recording, I did this already a bit in the Slums, where you could do this as well with the 2 robots sitting on a couch. Seems you can, however, do the nuzzle 5 times in a row with the same robot to get this trophy. And if it doesn't unlock, find some robots to nuzzle up to and you will get your trophy. As noticed before, there is a bit where you can optionally sneak through the factory and towards Clementine's office. If you manage to not be seen by a single sentinel, so not even a single line in both sections, you will be rewarded the trophy Sneak Kitty. There are multiple ways to get this, and the best way I can say is make sure to stay behind cover at all times, until you can make a break for it. After leaving Clementine's office for the 2nd time and making your way safely down to the town itself, you will unlock your trophy. If not, you probably have been spotted and you have to retry. However, if you do get spotted and you have a yellow line, please make sure to save and quit or go from restart checkpoint, so that it doesn't have to save the progress. There are many guides online on how to do this, and I don't want to copy them, so if you are stuck, I would suggest looking up one of them, because I don't want to steal their routes and take credit. The way I did this was via Power Picks. There are guides, which will be linked down below. Now for the remainder of badges, if you have been watching along, you don't have to worry, since this chapter is the final time you will need to collect them, which are quite easy to get. In Midtown, there is a shop in the back of an alley on the right. You will notice which one it is because it has a white coated robot in front of it. That robot is shouting at a seemingly dead robot. Go inside this shop and you will notice an upside down poster. When translated, we will reveal the code 8542. If you then look behind you, you will see a safe. Enter the code there and you will find the cat badge. In another part of the town, you will notice a green window with lots of AC units above it. Make your way to the top and you will see a barred window with a gap in it. You've entered a jail cell and a dead robot lies on the ground. Interact with it and you will gain the police badge. For the final badge, when inside the Necrocorp factory after Blazer sneaks you in, you will find a robot looking for his keys. Make your way through the bit with the hanging containers and you will find some barrels. Go right from them instead of following the normal path and you will see the keys. Bring these back to the robot and they will give you your last badge, the Neko badge. After entering the disco in Midtown, you sometimes occasionally see a table on the right side of the bar and a vinyl will be on top of it. I say occasionally because it didn't spawn in the first time. If it doesn't spawn in, don't panic. Reset from checkpoint and pick it up. Place it down at the DJ booth and scratch away. Now back to Bob and Clementine. Welcome to jail! Bob's being caught for tax fraud. Shame on you, Bob. Nah, joking aside. Bob escapes his cage by swinging around and making his way through the jail. He eventually finds Clementine, but can't speak to her since B12 is missing. She solves that there are keys nearby. Grab these and make your way back. When walking around with Clementine, you will see B12 and decide to rescue him. After evading sentinels and laser systems by jumping on AC units, B12 is rescued and resurrected. Clementine, B12 and Bob decide to take a ride through the prison and escape by trapping 3 robots. After escaping, Clementine gives Bob the key and tells him to go to the outside. Bob plugs in the battery and the key, and they are off to wherever the subway takes them. Bob makes his way down to the subway tunnel, which seems all new, and the robots here are not sentient enough. B12 asks to open up the way to the outside together, by doing what you do best, scratching. After opening the door and interacting with the keyboards to turn it on, B12 says he needs to open up the gate. After scratching and interacting with multiple PCs, B12 starts hacking them, but gets damaged in the process. After hacking the final console, B12 explodes and lies dormant on the ground. Picking B12 up and putting him in the PC scanner as its final mission to open up the gate to the outside. After who knows how long, the robots are free and the Zergs are slowly but surely dying out because of the rays of the sun shining down into the slums. Momo, Doc, Sebaltasar, and Clementine are finally free from the darkness and have fulfilled their dream of seeing and opening the doors to the outside. With a final sleep next to B12, it is time to open up the doors to the outside and walk away from the adventures that we went through. The end. Of story mode. Now get ready to go through it again, but fast. Now, you have done most of the stuff needed. We will now have to speedrun through the game. You have to beat the game under 2 hours. The tips I can give you is remember the story paths you have to take, which include the quests for notebooks, blanket for Elliot, and worker clothes. You can also risk it by running through sentinels as long as you don't get shot. It should save you a bunch of time. And don't forget, since you got the trophy on your first attempt through the sewers, you can now kill the Zergs with a defluxer. If you manage to remember all of this, you will have this game done under 2 hours in no time. I got it done in 1 hour and 45 minutes. As you have collected through your story, you have seen there are collectibles called memories. You might have picked some up along the way, and after chapter selecting, will be able to collect them. There are 27 memories in total, and you can see which ones you have missed. When selecting a chapter, you will have collected 5 along the way, because they are main story wise. In chapter 4, the slums, there are 7 memories. Remember those cans in chapter 4 you could collect by pawing the vending machine? You'll need 3 cans traded with the barter for a memory. When you see Marusk in the alley, left of him, while climbing up, there is a mural. When climbing the roofs, you'll see a sign with an arrow. Climb this building and a robot will hold the memory for you. When entering the bar on the next floor, there will be a bowl. This is indeed a memory. When entering Elliot's apartment in his room after climbing up the stairs, go left and the toilet plant will be your next memory. When looking for the cans, you might have found this one, but in the alley where Elliot lives at the end, there is a wall with a memory. When entering Momo's apartment after his cutscene, go past him and next to his bed is your final memory of Chapter 4. Chapter 5 Rooftops has 3 memories, but one is already picked up. After evading the first bunch of Zergs, you need to jump up a building on some pipes. You probably picked this one up during your story, but there is a neon sign. That is a memory. After entering the giant construction where you have to go up and eventually take the elevator, When entering the barrel puzzle, don't free the Zergs yet, but go past them, and in the back of the building is a sign of Necocorp, vested with Zerg eggs. This is indeed a memory. Chapter 6 are the same as Chapter 4, so don't worry if you miss some. In Chapter 7, Dead End, the first memory will be straight away after Seamus opens up the door on the left at the end of a garage wall. After joyriding with the cart and regaining your strength, when going up, instead of going left to go to the end, go right and you will see a metal gate with a gap. Go through it, and if you look to the right, there's a little hut of sorts. Another memory awaits for you there. The final memory of Chapter 7 is inside of Dog's apartment and is the mannequin Ride of Dog. Chapter 8, The Sewers, has 2 memories, which you will have to go off the beaten path to find. Don't forget to use your defluxer on Zerg since you got your pacifist trophy already. After Momo opens up the gate and leaves you behind, cause he can't come with you, instead of going straight, go left, and you will see a bunch of Zerg eggs. Destroy the Zergs in between and go through the open pipe. At the end of the tunnel, you will see a waterfall. This is a memory. After evading the Zergs and escaping the gaze of the big eyes, instead of going right on the pipes, go left and you'll find a small area. Go inside and you'll see a memory. Yuck. Chapter 9, Ant Village. Its memory can be collected after speaking to Balthasar. You probably already found it, but it was on the first floor with the mahjong player by a couch on the wall. Note, if you are to find it first, you cannot do it because you need to speak to Balthasar first. Chapter 10, Midtown has 7 memories and one is given at the beginning where you see the subway. After going up the stairs, you need to, instead of going straight, go right and you will see a lone robot and a memory. In the right alley in Midtown, there's a robot with a pylon in its head. If you see him, jump up the building and go eventually left. You will see your memory. In a barbershop in the middle of Midtown, there's a ladder. Jump up the ladder and in the corner of the small area is a memory. In the same middle area of Midtown is also a food shop. Go inside and jump up to the top of the broken ceiling. A memory awaits for you there. After you stole the battery from Necocorp, instead of going to Clementine, go to the building next to the checkpoint. It was locked before and is now open and has a memory for you there. After entering the club, go straight on the bar and you will see a food elevator. Take it down and there will be some drinks in the middle. This is your final memory of Midtown. Chapter 11, Jail, will have 1 memory and it's at the part where you have to trap a sentinel. After locking it in, Clementine will open the door and on the right of you is your only memory for this chapter. Chapter 12's memory is Story Given. So if you followed along, you have your trophy! Congratulations! As noted at the beginning of the video, you need to scratch in each chapter by interacting with a tree, carpet, couch, curtains, or a wall. After clawing, you don't have to claw anything else in the chapter. Some scratch locations are more hidden and some are common. Also, after scratching, make sure to get to a checkpoint or else it won't count. After that, you can safely save and quit and go to the next chapter. Chapter 1 is the tree during the tutorial I have shown already. Chapter 1 is right after jumping down in the room with the bunk beds after throwing down the blue cans. You will then see a carpet. Chapter 3, in the room with the giant PC, there are multiple carpets. Chapter 4, there are several scratch posts throughout the slums, so scratch away anything you see. Chapter 5, the moment you see the chapter reveal, also known as rooftops, there's a carpet. Scratch that, since it's the only moment you can scratch in that chapter. Chapter 6, slums again, so find and scratch anything. Chapter 7, in Dog's room there are multiple walls where you can scratch. Chapter 8, after finishing the puzzle where you interact with the 2 switches and got chased by Zergs, there's a cardboard on your left where you can scratch. Chapter 9, in Ant Village there are multiple couches and carpets you can scratch. Chapter 10, Midtown is the same as the slums and you will find multiple points where you can scratch. Chapter 11, after you get through the jail with Clementine by locking the sentinels in cages, you will find a tree in the next room which you can scratch. Chapter 12, the final moment that you can scratch by opening the door. 3 trophies remain, and I have dreaded this one. Remember in the second chapter, the first Zerg chase? Yeah, that chase. You have to complete it without being hit by a single Zerg. Before you do this, you hit a checkpoint. So as sad as it sounds, if you haven't died to Zergs or Sentinels 9 times, you can do that right here. Now for the Zergs, your primary objective is to stay far away from them and hug the wall, and wiggling around left and right. Zerg movements are anticipated by your movement. If you move left, they go left, so wiggle fast from left to right and make sure to dodge them. When you're hit, restart from checkpoint and try again. I tried for 2 hours and I got pissed, so I called in help from a friend, and that is this footage.
Swing, swing.
Oh, he's at the home stretch! He did it! Can't catch me! He's a mad lad. He's a mad lad. He did it with lag. All props goes to pork. Holy fuck. So much pork. Look at him running around like a cat. We have Clarky singing the victory song right now. Thank you so much. Alright, Clarky, that's... Oh, I could not do that for life me. I've tried that over like 100 times. Thank you so much.
Any sneaky Easter eggs inside of this build?
I don't know, but...
My name is Iron Man.
Clarky, are you drunk?
No, I've just gone and shit.
Bruh.
Karakan.
Right. For the final trophy I have left for you guys, it is for your platinum screenshot. You have to nap 1 full hour. And I will say that the final nap for a beautiful platinum screenshot has to be the one where you nap with B12 while the city opens up. And that's it. That is the platinum journey for Stray. I enjoyed this little game and loved the cyberpunk setting. Even after getting its platinum, I had fun going back and recording all of this footage for the video. This platinum is not too hard next to the Zerg section, and no trophies can be missed since you can retry again from checkpoints. After completing the game around 3 times, I can finally have the closing review by giving this game the rating of 9 out of 10. A must completion for everyone. And with that, we end the platinum journey for Stray. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more platinum journeys. The road is long, but the reward is right. Hope you guys enjoy your day. I am now signing off.